Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of this DRO installation. This is kind of how far we got in part 1, just putting this rail on here, just drilling and tapping and attaching it to the cross slide there. Now I needed a scale here which has almost 9 inches of travel for the little student, because that's the travel of the cross slide, 8 and a bit. And you need a little more travel on your reed heads in the scale than what you have on your slides, so that they don't crash against the ends. These are optical, there's glass inside. If you put loads or force or pressure or knocks on them, they're quite fragile apparently. Now what that all means is I can't mount the scale sticking out this end. It'll get in the way of levers and knobs when it's fully back. So I've got some scale sticking out this end. When the cross slides wound fully forward, it's going to be hanging out of here. There's plenty of room for it, but I kind of don't like things hanging out, and I wanted somewhere else to attach it. This is the second attachment hole. I can drill and tab a hole here. That will give me good alignment in this direction, but it would be nice to have something supporting it here. And if necessary, to be able to shim it and just support it at 3 points in case it needs aligning in this direction. I hope it doesn't. I hope the side of this top slide is machined parallel with the ways that it runs on, but you never know. So where's my bits? I've got these 2 holes here which are tapped at 5/16 NC. I'll bring you back in a second to just show you my plan and how we're going to tackle it. Well, I've been to the plasma cutter and made this shape. I haven't made it pretty yet with the file, but all in due course. And my plan here is to just bolt this onto these 2 holes here. If it'll cooperate. Here you go. I'm hoping. Where's the hole? Okay, that's what I've got when I got my bolts in there. Now it's gonna, in the best tradition, I've left a little clearance in these holes, so nothing's fixed until it's all tight. That seems to be the way this installation kit works, so my bits are no exception. Now I'll put a little angle bracket on the other side of this and pick up on that hole there. Okay, that's going to give me some protection on the end here. It's just going to make me aware that I've got this scale sticking out at the back there when I'm running it along. Make sure it'll be slightly protected. Especially when I've got a cover extending over the scale and the reed head. It'll have a reasonable amount of strength in this direction because it's kind of 4mm sheet when these are tightened down. What it won't be really is particularly good at locating it in this direction. It'll be able to flex up and down even when the bolts are tight. So I think the answer to that is I've got 1 hole here about which it can currently pivot, so I can adjust the level of it. I think the answer is another hole or even a locating pin here once I've set the level, just to finally set it in this direction. Okay, then if necessary I'll be able to adjust the position of this in and out slightly and shim the middle if there were a void here, or shim this end if there were a need to go in a direction like that. So eventually we'll have it running true on the top and true on the side. Then we'll attach the scale. As long as they stay true, when the reed head is fixed in position, there shouldn't be any, as I wind the scale up and down, there shouldn't be any deviation in any direction of the reed head from the scale. That's quite important. It can, if you put a load on these at any point, it can damage the scale. So that's where we're at. Let's go over to the brake and bend a little piece of angle to go under here. Well, I'm just using up some scrap metal that's lying around on my guillotine here. This stuff Okay, I think this is 2014 T3. It should be cold workable. It's rolled this material. It's an aircraft alloy in one direction, and it bends a lot easier. If you wanted to put a bend across here, the grain going this way, it bends a lot better, less susceptible to cracking than this way. Unfortunately, I want to bend it this way, but I'll use a bigger radius and see how we go. Well, I'm just using I've just packed my brake out with a little bit of stainless steel there to try and get a slightly bigger radius than what I normally bend this at. Let's see what happens. Snap in half. Not yet, that's 90. Let's see if we got any cracks in it. Okay, I think we got away without any cracking. You can kind of see from the grain of the metal, that's the very limit. That would be too tight for an aircraft part, but I think for this job it'll do fine. I'm being fussy. Okay, so we'll slip that under there, clamp it up with the mole grips and get a hole drilled in that. That's what I'll do next. Alright, where are we? Let's get this little bit under here, much in the middle of the hole there. Something like that. I guess I'll clamp on that. Is that going to work? Yeah, that's going to be okay, I think. Yeah, looking good. And with this roughly level, we'll get a mark in there. This hole is slotted, so there's going to be no problem with the up and down alignment there. I'm just going to mark that, and then I'll take it away and drill it, put a couple of rivets or bolts in there, maybe 3, and drill a hole in there, and we're done on that part. Alrighty, I've just attached that to there with 3 little rivets and drilled it. I think I'm going to try an assembly now. Just popping that one there. These little beasties are for this. Got some nuts to go on the back. Come on, in you go. Yeah, that's in there. I've got room to reach in and put a nut on that. So we get these screws in. Here we go. A bit tight, those threads haven't been used for a little while, but that'll come right. We'll assemble that, and then we'll just put the DTI on it once more, and if it's all good, we'll drill and tap one more hole here, and that'll be that bit fixed. This, I'll just break the edges on this and the corners, might even trim it a little bit there, just make it flush with the end of the scale. This bit really is just to give the end of the scale some protection, and so that I'm aware of it when it's hanging out here, you know, don't knock it. And I think it'll do the job well. Okay, I'm just doing some indicating on it now, and yeah, that's not very nice. Okay, from a pivot point there, let's have a 0. Oh, come on. Let's have a 0. Well, that's not nice. Let's get it. It's about the limit of its travel. And let's push that back down to 0 then and see how we go. Okay, got 0 there. Got a very slight rise there. Let's just go again. I don't know what happened, what moved there. 0. Okay. Ooh, it's getting sensitive now. Back to 0. We're getting there. I've wound it right off the end. Demolished the camera. Really sorry I had a slight mishap there, but I have got a good result in that direction. So I'm just going to snug up some of the bolts and then we'll check it along the other side. I actually had a slight change of plan. While it's all trued up in that direction, in the vertical sense if you like, I'm going to put this second drill and tapped hole here in there, because that will hold it from shifting like this, and then when I snug these up I'll be able to move this plate very slightly if it needs any correction on the end, so and add shims if there's a void here, or shims here if there's a void under the end there. So I'll have 3 attachment points that hopefully all can be shimmed in a direct straight line with each other. So yeah, as I say, now I'm going to drill and tap a hole here. I'll do that. Right, I'm just tapping this horrible yucky cast iron, and when we've got a deep enough thread in there, I need a bit more lube on it. We'll my tapping drill size is correct. That seems to be making hard work of this. Oh no, it's going. Watch me snap a tap off. It shouldn't snap. It's, no, gonna clear this and put some more lube on it. Something's wrong there. When I've done that, I'll take it apart and deburr, assemble, and hopefully we'll have that part completed tonight. Okay, I've cleaned the chips out. I had grabbed the wrong size tapping drill, that's why that tap was making heavy work of that hole there. I think we got away with it this time though. Just going to use that in a little bit further, I think. I'm not going to push my luck. There's just a little gap there between the gib screw, this screw, above the level of the gib, where you can safely drill and tap this cross slide, so that's all worked. Quite pleased with that. Let's do some cleaning, some deburring, put it back on, put a DTI on it once more, and assemble it all, see how we go. Alright, I've just finished drilling and tapping and had a clean up. So all I've actually had to do is drill and tap 2 holes in the cross slide there on the old Colchester, and so there's room to do that with this kit just above the level of the gib, and have land on all sides of the holes and miss anything crucial inside there, which is good. Now I'm going to assemble everything that I've got. Where's my other bit? There you go, there's the other. Okay, sorry, my camera ran out of storage there. This is the bit we've got so far. That's the manufacturer's hole there. This one that I've made, I'll put a little counterbore on that. That's another manufacturer's hole slotted the other way. That's the end, and that's the little plate, the little sort of plate just to reinforce the end of the scale and protect it. And the whole lot should sit on there, something like that. And what I'm going to do is just assemble it up, level it up once more with the DTI, and if it's all good, we'll put the scale on. I'll quickly show you. We've got the DTI on the side now this way. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's nice. It's nice and true. It's within a couple of thousandths end to end in both directions. There's some tiny bumps and bits, but I think we're good enough to attach the scale to that. That's what I've got so far. and I think I'm quite happy with that for tonight. I think that's enough. Okay, that's my scale attached there, and it's looking good. I noticed that these screw holes at the ends are all slotted on the scale as well, so I'll have to just run the DTI on it once more and check that it's level to the bit that I've just mounted, but it should be okay. And connected up the reed head. I put the plug in the wrong slot, so it's saying it's the Z axis. It should be the X. But as I move the reed head, we've got moving figures there, which I think is quite encouraging. So I'm going home. Good night. If you like this, subscribe. Oh, and if you're interested in fitting a DRO to your lathe, check out Double Boost. It does a similar installation on a Harrison lathe, much better than I can. That's Double Boost, all one word.